bit interesting, despite the depth of their roster, that they haven't been experimenting more, but they must be pretty confident in the Sasin Nuclear secret. Well, we've seen more Vivid. So Sasin and Nuclear, which are positions they actually have sub for in mid and AD carry.
The Nuclear secret bot lane. That actually sounds pretty cool when you say it, you know?
And there is a Fizz ban from Najin. That is surprising, considering how easily they dealt with it last time, but perhaps now that they're on blue side, Duke is tired of their shenanigans.
I think the Fizz ban may be a little bit of shenanigans from the Najin side. It feels a bit cocky to me, doesn't it?
Well, I think that they handled it perfectly fine, and they had an answer for it, but maybe they're not anticipating getting such a good early game against that pick as last time. And it looks like they're just pocket banning right now, Varus, Fizz.
Yeah, they just feel like they don't want to deal with anything kind of out there. They just want to force SBENU onto standard picks and kind of just force the fact that SBENU is a rookie team. And they can take advantage of that. There's a LeBlanc ban as well.
Don't want to first pick the LeBlanc here for Najin. Will they go for a jungler instead as a possible first pick here? Do they want to take away that Rek'Sai, threaten it in the top lane as a flex pick?
Would you maybe consider first picking the Sivir as well?
Yep, that's definitely an option.
We'll see what they go with. The Evelyn ban against Watch, so SBENU not wanting to deal with that.
So with two jungle bans, do you go ahead and first pick jungle here and really make it awkward, or do you take the Kalista?
Wow.
Man, this is such a... I can't believe we didn't talk about that.
No kidding, yeah.
OQ's Kalista. He's gotten 8 kills in the laning phase on Kalista from time to time.
It's just something we never see get through, so it's, you don't even think about it. Yeah, but apparently it does this time, so SBENU decides that the answer to all their problems is to give OQ Kalista. I don't know if I agree with that train of thought. I've got suspicions about that one.
It's always fun to watch OQ on Kalista because he's one of, if not the best Kalista player in Korea. And his ability to just dominate the laning phase as an already strong laner. His ability to take over laning phase with Kalista has been pretty damn good. And they still, even if the Thresh is taken away, I mean, Alistar is still available too. Where's that pick coming in right now? You take Kalista Alistar, Kalista Annie, all very good picks. Kalista Nautilus, you're fine there too. Many support choices, and that early pick of Thresh, I don't know how meaningful that is going to be. They want...
Oh, Goon insta-locks Victor.
Well, that's not a champion we have really seen much out of Goon, so that's...
Very strong, though.
Very strong, but also Goon takes a long time to warm up the champions. And unsurprisingly, there is the Alistar.
You would think, too, that Goon would struggle with Victor in the same way he struggles with Cassiopeia, and that if a champion doesn't have a lot of movement, he has issues.
But his Cassiopeia was much better in the last game. To his credit, that did look like a big change. Do you go with the Tristana here? Do you go for a lane swap and try and fast push it now that the Jinx early game attack speed has been nerfed? Jinx no longer that premier fast pushing AD carry. I have a feeling that Tristana now going to rise to that role with the buffs on 5.9. I believe it was 5.9 to explosive charge.
Yeah, I think you're right. Believe so. And they're going to grab the Rumble as well, too. So going to try to push some stuff early, it looks like.
Yeah, definitely a much more early game focused team this time around, saving that mid pick till last, even though they already know that it will be a Victor in the mid lane. There is a very smiley Duke on your screen.
Smiling because he may get to play a very smiley Mundo.
I think you...
Or a top Cassiopeia.
Wow, that would be quite surprising, but definitely a good way to push the Rumble in early.
Going to do his best Huni impression here. So, which you may or may not want to do with the top Cassiopeia.
I think you go Gnar here. Personally, that's what I would do in this situation. Start building up that big tank line for your Kalista and your Victor. Yeah. Victor generally does better with large tanks just because he doesn't have very much mobility and his short range. Hecarim will also work.
Certainly fits that role.
And Lee Sin. So that will provide a lot of early pressure with this Kalista. So we'll see how much Watch wants to focus down on the bottom side this game.
Do you think there's any chance at all Sasin might lock in that Katarina? Nope, never mind. Lissandra Interesting. I mean, we've seen that recently as like a counter pick to the LeBlanc, but how well do you think it will work in a composition like this?
This would be a really big all-in for the mid game. You'd have to get some early towers, some early dragons in order to make this work, but that said, that has been SBENU's forte. Yasuo up against Victor. I don't think so. There you go. I like the Zed. Or the TF.
How about the Twisted Fate?
Yeah, TF is good.
Let's just cycle through a lot of mid lane champions. We'll settle on one eventually.
That would be, again, set them up for a very strong mid game. They'd have some really good dive with Tristana and TF and Thresh. Able to kind of all in under a turret with rocket jump and then get the kill and rocket jump back out. So look for TF to start ganking the Tristana lane.
Very cool. All right. Sasson going to bring in the Twisted Fate here in game number 2. So SBENU, yeah, bringing something different, bringing something more early and mid-game focused. I feel like compositionally, SBENU is looking a lot better than they did last game in terms of playing to their strengths.
Yeah, and we could see some interesting ganks onto the Victor here with Rek'Sai coming in and then TF porting into the mid lane in order to pick that one up. If they have to fight the 2v2, though, I'd be a little bit nervous against the Lee Sin. Rek'Sai, especially Rek'Sai taking some nerfs on this patch, too. So
if you don't have a gold card set up,
fragile.
though, Hecarim is going to just absolutely run over that Twisted Fate.
Yes. In the team fight, I would definitely give a late game team fight to Najin here. They have a lot of tools to deal with Tristana and the TF. That Hecarim, obviously a major threat. TF also vulnerable to getting insect out of team fights if he has to stay in the back line, if he isn't initiating with that Sonya's Hourglass. But in the mid game, SBENU has a strong pick composition, great single target damage, good dive comp too. So, but they can't really dive Alistar, so it's going to have to be the Hecarim, and I think SBENU will probably want the lane swap to try and fast push.
Well, we'll see what the plan is going to be for SBENU here in their second game against Najin e-mFire. A chance to tie it up with some picks, with some early game pushing power, but Najin going for that stronger team fight. We'll see who takes it. Time to get in the game and find out. You know, at the end of the day, at least you can feel cool if you're SBENU and that you have an awesome team name like Sonicboom. That, in terms of new teams' team names, well done, SBENU. Well done.
Especially because the Korean teams get kind of weird at times. So
1 and 2. Oh, we've got the new Lee Sin skin in the game, I guess.
I am 1 and I am 2. Never forget.
I know, yeah. Yep, KT A and B. SKTelecom S and
Hey,
K.
they got to arrows and bullets eventually. KT fixed it.
It didn't start well though.
It didn't start well.
No, that doesn't change the fact that they started with A and B.
That was only for a season. Then they sorted themselves out. Meanwhile, SKT and IM never sorted themselves out. So
that's true. Ooh, a little bit of invade with the gold card loaded up by Three Musketeers Twisted Fate. I don't know if that's not the skin name, but I don't know, I just invented it.
So, deep wards coming in for SBENU, trying to figure out where this Alistar and Kalista are going to be. Will the recall come in? Right here, they're in that Russian lane. No eyes on them right now. More wards going down.
Yeah.
But it looks like they're trying to mind game it, and Nuclear and Secret are going to head bottom anyway. It's just a mind game. It's all we're seeing.
I'm curious to see how Watch does on this Lee Sin. If you've ever read Lee Sin's lore, you know it's very disturbing. It involves a child basically being turned inside out by Lee Sin.
I had no idea.
Through like a misuse of magical powers. Because Lee Sin was originally going to be a powerful summoner. Good thing he didn't, because they don't exist anymore. But
well, now his lore makes no sense. Great.
When he was trying it out, he tried to summon a demon, accidentally summoned a child, but there was he had just a moment to look into the mangled remains of what was once a child's face before the lifeless mass of flesh fell to the ground. I believe it's like an almost direct quote from the lore. And then you find out the spell he cast destroyed the boy's entire village too.
Cool.
So yeah, Lee Sin set himself on fire later on, survived it, but it burned out his eyes. So
Lee Sin's got some problems.
So sweet dreams, everyone. Sleep well. I know you're getting tired, watching so late at night, but I hope you have pleasant, pleasant thoughts as you drift off to sleep tonight of Lee Sin turning children inside out.
Well, and now he did it all for no reason because there aren't any summoners.
I know.
That was just pointless violence.
Lee Sin, what a jerk. Can't believe people still pick him.
All right, well, we are going to have the 2v2 lane in the end, and it's like Nuclear putting down some good harassment onto Kalista early on. It's going to take a while for that lane to really ramp up in terms of kill pressure. Of course, Alistar needs that level 3 to really put down a lot of hurt onto the Tristana. And everything just going pretty calmly in the mid and top lane so far.
Yeah, more or less. I'm curious to see how Goong is going to do on this Victor here.
It's always a question with Goong.
Yeah, whenever it's something that we haven't seen before, you come into it with some well-founded doubts, you know, well-founded doubts. Deservedly so.
Duke just playing really far back right here, forcing Catch into the top side lane to cover Soul as he is harassing under the turret, but that does lock up the jungler for a little bit. No attempts at a gank yet from Watch. Watch will recall and pick up his jungle item. It will be the Chilling Smite, so now the question is, where is he going to go? There is a giant massive pings on the mid lane right now.
You know, I would think this is going to be another one of those games as we see Sassen roam down to bot that we're just going to see a team wait for SBENU to make a mistake, you know? Oh, and Secret comes in for the double flay. Sassen's still coming down. He's got the gold card loaded up. Is he going to be able to use it? Gold card onto Pure. OQ comes in for an immediate bit of damage. Pure able to get out.
That was not a very good gank. Sassen used his Ghost for that as well. They had put down most of the damage already by the time they got down there, and they were unwilling to commit in terms of summoners.
And it's going to cost him some CS and some experience in this mid lane too. I mean, that was a lot of commitment for, you know, no gain at all from SBENU. Yeah,
now he's going to take some harass from Goong also. No summoners even blown from Najin. Wow. Interesting.
Well, at least they gave it a try, right? Oh, Catch coming in from behind here. Chilling Smite onto Goong, going to get chased a little bit. Goong already flashing. He may not be able to get out of here. He's able to cleanse out of that gold card, and Watch coming down to help out Q onto Sassen. Goong turning it around now, a little bit more damage. Goong getting very low, though. Sassen low as well. Watch chasing him. He wants to get that KO. Chilling Smite comes down. Sassen dodging back and forth. Float like a butterfly, sting like a Q. Oh, is he going to go in? There it is! First blood for Watch. And can he get away from Catch here with Goong right there adding on the damage? He shouldn't have any trouble, but here comes Secret coming in. Watch very low. Secret not finding an opportunity for that death sentence. And a very, very protracted gank ends in first blood for Najin. Okay, that happened.
Yeah, very awkward, clearly. But Goong able to get out of that mid lane thanks to his cleanse on the gold card, and Watch eventually finding the right angle for the Q.
I said it wrong earlier. I should have said float like a butterfly, sting like a Lee.
Damn it, Toa.
Oh, I missed it by this much. Oh, well.
You don't get to take that one back either. It's gone forever now.
It's esports where you can do jokes over 30 seconds later. There you go. Wait, hold on, guys. I thought of a funnier way to say it. Works great, right?
Uh-oh.
Oh, Catch coming down. He's really trying hard to make the ganks work here. Pure getting flayed in. Looks like Catch just making his appearance and then backing away.
Yeah, now the pressure really started to come in, though. Secret had to row up to the mid lane to see if he could salvage what was going on there in the awkward exchange that took place.
Yeah, he really needed the
Sassen not level 6 yet. Goong, of course, hitting that first after the roam and the death.
That was really a Benny Hill soundtrack moment there in that gank.
All right. Well, Sassen just waiting right now. Double Doran's rings, of course, going for that early game. And now, are we going to see a gank onto the mid lane? They really want to punish this TF while they can. Watches.
Oh, wow. Q on the Catch. Takes a lot of damage early on. Chilling Smite. Goong trying to poke a little bit. They deny the recall and really cause some issues for Catch here.
Goong also going idle first before upgrading his Death Ray.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah, wanting to just rush a really fast Morella and Namicon, I suppose.
Yeah.
Prioritizing that CDR over all else.
I think why he wants this is he just wants to keep Sassen pushed in so that, and spam the death ray as much as possible so that Sassen doesn't get a lot of roams for free right
So he's saying you get more wave clear out of lower, or being
That's
able
the
to death ray
question.
more often than getting the explosive upgrade on the death ray?
The answer is yes over time.
I suppose, yeah. If it goes on long enough. So, I mean, that really just kind of shows Najin is planning on playing a pretty long laning phase, farm-heavy, late game, wait for them to mess up sort of
Which
style.
makes sense. If we look at SBENU's composition, they definitely peak harder in the mid-game, and Najin, even with this Lee Sin, has a lot more late-game threat. Obviously, Victor and Hecarim's late-game damage is pretty enormous.
I guess if you go for that sort of sustain sort of build too, it lets you combat one of SBENU's strengths, which has been early dragons too. You have more sustained poke against something like that.
Right, and you have good general control over early dragons because you have this Kalista in the bottom lane and you have the Lee Sin. So you're not doing badly in terms of your mid-game power either. So it's a pretty well-rounded composition from Najin. But SBENU has to do something with his TF, and TF now level 7, yet to gank here. And how many opportunities he's going to have? Can they make a play with the double globals they have with Void Rush and with the Gate Destiny? Looks like they maybe want to do something topside. I thought they might gank the mid just because Goong still without that flash.
Well, meanwhile, in the bot lane, things kind of going about as expected. Pretty even CS between the lanes. A little bit of poking on both sides.
Here we go.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, headbutt pulverize on the Nuclear. Nuclear, so with that flash and heal available, he's going to rocket jump out. TF coming in with the gank, going to try to counter this gank. It's a gold card on to watch. The equalizer comes down. Doesn't do a whole lot, though. They burned the teleport. They burned the gate. They did not get
They have to
kills
go
out of that.
for this dragon now, but they don't have an equalizer for follow-up. Victor back in lane. TP still available for Duke. Duke pushing up. Is he going to come down for this fight? They definitely have a lot of advantages in terms of ults.
They should fight this. Yep, here comes the teleport. Najin has their ultimates coming in. Gold card loaded up by Sauce, and there's a nice headbutt pulverize. Nuclear manages to get out, but Duke just runs over catch. Dragon untaken here. They're going to keep chasing. There goes Soul getting very low. Oh, Soul actually goes down just barely. Gives Saucin a kill, though. In the process, Najin can turn onto this Dragon if they want to, perhaps.
Well, they don't have Watch anymore,
Yeah.
and Catch is going to be up in 4 seconds with Void Rush. Watch going way, way too deep for that kill. Totally unnecessary. Needs to just turn back on to Dragon. Well, he's the one who still has the smite. They could still smite it with Duke, but instead they're just going to push more pressure on the tower.
A lot of pressure on this tower. Oh, Catch coming in. There's a knock-up on the Goom. Needs to be a little bit careful here. Gold card for Saucin. Not going to find a target.
But still, Najin coming out on the better end of that in terms of their kills.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 3-1 overall. Nice little 1,000 gold lead at this point. Watch with a couple kills, too. You're kind of getting a pretty quick jump start with that Sight Stone as well.
Oh, but he's going Cinder Hulk.
Oh, Goong, wow, stuck around for a bit too long. Yeah, that was a bit dangerous for Goong to stay there with no flash, no health.
Yeah,
kinda,
really,
kinda had that one coming.
The no health is really the killer there.
Yeah. Yeah, well, no health kills you every time, actually. Now they have to defend mid lane for a little while. Or maybe defend this dragon. This might be a little opportunity for SBENU. Yeah, looks like Najin actually might have to give up this first dragon because of it.
Yeah, it's going to be taking a lot of damage from this Tristana.
Yep. Yeah, it looks like Najin's just going to give this one over. Watch not moving over to try to steal it or anything. And so, Goom, playing a bit too unsafely, dies in the mid lane, and that results in SBENU able to get a dragon.
Now, to be fair, Goong had to recall anyway, and they probably would have gotten that dragon regardless, but Goong was playing a little carelessly without sufficient vision.
Yeah.
And they did have to use 2 flashes to kill him, though. So that could set up potential kills later in this game. But for now, have to give up that dragon. They tried to get that damage onto the mid tower. Now, if they can eventually trade the mid tower for it, then they're going to be still in fine shape, having a gold advantage while having the heavier scaling.
True enough. Well, Secret just having a bit of an issue landing those skill shots today in general. I've seen that, I feel like, both games now. He's been not hitting those death sentences.
I really just don't like Cinder Hulk. I think it's, as we see,
a lot of damage onto Secret there. And will the Ren be enough? Oh, they try to throw Pure in. He gets hooked with the death sentence instead.
A blow flash right there. Definitely worth it to use the Fate's Call to get that summoner spell. They win that trade. They continue putting pressure on the bottom side. Catch can't do anything because he keeps getting found by Watch in his own jungle. And Goong slowly working away on that turret.
Goong also pretty far ahead in CS too in that lane. Getting a nice little edge there if the assists weren't enough.
Yeah, that's how it's going to go when we see so much roaming from Sasin here in the early game. And he's gone for CDR boots with home guard before an item. This is such an all-in build for the early game. You have to be able to do something with this.
Well, with how the games for SBENU have gone this season, you really can't blame them for going all in on the early and mid game.
But he has to make plays. He has to try and show up for lane ganks with that, or he has to just keep on coming to lane to clear out the waves, or else his mid lane turret goes down. It's probably another reason why he picked up the early home guards in this one.
Oh, definitely.
So he's managed to keep his turret alive, which is something right here. Goong actually did upgrade his Death Ray before finishing off that Morellonomicon. Now he's got both. And here comes Soul going up against Duke in the top side, but nothing really resulting from that. Soul able to go even in CS this game. Sasin now buying a Sheen. Wow, this is...
It's about as all-in as all-in gets, right?
Yeah.
It's like, well, if I get in the back, and if I hit him with the gold card, and if my Sheen procs,
it's definitely a super mid-game focused burst composition that they're going to try and chain together with this Rumble's equalizer. But I'm not sure that this is really going to be that effective. Watch continuing to invade right there. And Tunnel dies, but the Void Rush still goes down, uses the smite. Wow, they really want this. There's not enough people there to justify the Destiny going down, and that is a wasted TF ult.
Yeah.
Bottom lane from Najin reacting well, so it would have been a 4v4 in the mid lane. Possibility of the Hecarim and Rumble TPing in.
Yep, seems like they pulled the trigger a bit early on this one, and OQ just going for a presumably easy kill on, maybe not. Wow, forget that. Here comes in with the headbutt pulverize. Can Duke and Watch equalize here. Goong getting there as well. Secret backing away, trying to draw people off of the AD carry. He'll go down, but kill for Nuclear. Not a bad thing at all for SBENU.
Yeah, all summoners used right there, but OQ couldn't stack up enough, and Tristana just winning that trade with the Buster shot. Very nicely done. OQ did have less damage because he had gone for that Avarice Blade. I'm not sure how many times he critted right there. That may have been a factor as well if he critted at all. But the flat damage, Nuclear with the advantage considering he had the pickaxe. That is a interesting situation for the Kalista.
Yeah. Well, that's managed to actually make things a little bit closer here. And with 1:30 until Dragon, Najin may have to approach this one a little bit safer. Or safely. That's a good idea. Just approach it safely. Or maybe just get chunked out.
Use both your summoners while you trade with TF.
That's not safe.
You really want it. He really wants that turret before the dragon goes down. Is the thing.
I guess
but
so.
He committed very hard for that and got drawn in by SBENU, having to use both summoners for 0 on the other side. So a bit of an overcommitment there from Goong without enough knowledge. You notice the pink ward's very good around the mid lane for SBENU, so they Goong a little bit in the dark when he walks up to kill this tower. And now everyone going back.
Yep.
to buy before this dragon goes down.
Well, they're going to give up all the vision around the dragon pit, but they'll be able to at least arrive back to the area of the map right before it comes up. Can they fight it, though?
Najin should be able to fight this. They've got a lot of magic resist already against the double AP, and the Tristana not too much of a damage threat yet. Still hasn't finished the Infinity Edge.
Yeah, I think that's pretty key, actually, that SBENU's going to be coming into this without that IE on Tristana. Looks like Sassen moving towards Lichbane here.
Yeah, definitely as a first item if you're going to get that Sheen.
Yep.
And here we go. Looks like Scuttle Crab. Watch wants it, but he doesn't have enough control over the river right now. Soul really doing a lot of damage to Duke. Duke going for a Hex Drinker afterwards, so high damage and catch. Not going to be able to do much right there.
Oh, he queued him. mid lantern. Not bad. All right, is Najin going to be able to equalize dragons here? Top lane taking some damage. Neither top lane are having teleport, so Duke is going to run back as fast as he can with home guards here.
He will get there first.
Yeah.
And a lot of this is probably going to depend on how well Najin can put pressure on the mid lane, because Sassen has to stay there, or someone from SBENU, if they don't want to lose that tower, which is just hanging by a thread at the moment. And if that tower goes in, they will lose so much control over the river. So it's a pretty desperate defense, and Najin only has to methodically shove in minion waves.
No, Goong needs to be careful here.
He can't play that far up on the lane when he doesn't know exactly where this rumble is.
Well, no summoners or anything like that. He's still in a lot of danger if he tries this. Duke, though, pushing up top in the meantime, and that will pull Soul back up to the top lane. Makes Goong a little bit safer anyway.
Yeah, but one less person to defend that mid lane, but that said, Najin not really doing much in terms of playing with vision around the dragon right now, just letting it stay up. Finally, we see OQ go back and finish that Bloodthirster, but that is going to prompt start of this dragon. OQ had not been back in some time.
Yep.
Oh, that is a lot of damage onto Sassen. And Ghost is used as a result. No Chaos Storm left, however. There's the tower going down. So Goong finally finds the timing. SBENU commits to that dragon, but that great ult usage by Goong to secure the objective, and they're still contesting the dragon afterwards.
Yeah, SBENU wasn't able to actually take that or really make any moves on it yet. They've still got good vision around it. But Najin certainly showing off a little bit of power here. And both teleports are going to be up by the time anyone attempts this again, it looks like. Or just barely going to come up, rather. A lot of champs gathering in the mid lane here, looks like. SBENU going after this dragon. Will Najin fight it? Teleports up now. Ooh. And there we go, headbutt pulverize on the catch. They're going to jump onto Secret as well, too. OQ going very far in. Will Najin just turn onto this dragon? Looks like they will. Watch, taking a lot of damage. Equalizer goes down, but Najin manages to take the dragon and get out without losing anybody.
Really weird team fighting from Najin tonight. During that fight, yeah, they got the dragon, and Duke was there to use the smite, but you probably should be trying to threaten people to zone him out with Duke rather than Lee Sin. Lee Sin should be on the dragon right there, because watch, basically just had to instantly flash out of that engagement, whereas Duke could have been threatening his Hecarim ult that entire time on the choke point. So not very well coordinated in terms of whose job it should have been to finish off that dragon. But SBENU also very easily spooked right there. I think they gave up too easily on that dragon in the first place.
Well, it was like they were expecting the flank from Hecarim to come in because of how aggressively OQ just jumped in there. You know, I mean, I think he just jumped like right into the box. So I think they thought Duke was going to be coming in from a side they didn't expect, maybe.
Yeah, they definitely turned tail and ran pretty quickly when they could have had more of an opportunity. And they also didn't collapse on their flank very well either. They were trying to play both flanks at the same time, and that is almost never successful.
Well, Hecarim's a scary guy. His portrait's so scary that they had to change it on the Chinese server, man. They had to do a new one that was less scary. It just looks kind of funny when you look at it, actually.
It does. It looks like a happy ghost.
It's rather comical. He doesn't really have a horn. He has sort of like a droopy forehead protrusion, kind of. It's a bit odd.
Nobody wants a droopy forehead protrusion. Usually you have to go to a doctor if you've got one of those.
You need to have that removed immediately. Yep, well, right onto Sasson. Watch gets gold carded. Pierre's going to knock him away here. Oh, Goong right over the wall. Sasson very low already. Secret nuclear coming up the river. It's like there was a dragon there, but there's not right now.
There's just a team fight instead.
Yep.
And little skirmish blows some summoners from SBENU, and they lose so much control. Look how well Najin's able to push up the mid lane right now as they zone everybody out. They have that minion wave. But fortunately for SBENU, they do have the home guards on the TF, so he's going to be able to catch it as it comes in, minimizing that damage.
Yeah, but they just gave up their entire bottom jungle to Najin. I mean, it's fully warded now. All the camps went to Najin. And so they gained a lot after getting those summoners out of SBENU.
Oh, wow, they're still getting some damage down onto the tower, too. Watch just making sure no one has any control over that side. Now they're coming in. One tunnel remains for ROCCAT to Void Rush to, but that is going to be Watch.
Nope.
Watch knows he had that wolf sprite. It's going to be annoying. So he had the wolf there to keep track of catch.
And meanwhile, OQ and Pure pushing up this bottom lane pretty aggressively. They want to start taking down turrets because the thing is if they can be far enough ahead that they can start taking turrets now against a SBENU team that kind of lives and dies on their ability to put pressure on the mid game, that's pretty much a game one for Najin, isn't it?
Yeah, the fact that they have this much control already is pretty dangerous.
Goodbye, Secret. Just saving Pure in the end with the Kalista ultimate.
It seems like they got the fight they wanted right there. Pure.
I guess so. Oh, hi, Goong. What are you up to, buddy? Just hanging out. Oh, Watch is right there as well, too. And can they turn on to catch here? There's a knock-up onto Watch. He's going to have to safeguard away back to Goong, but it's going to give them that bottom turret at some point.
Yeah, they're doing such a good job of playing in this bottom side jungle, maintaining their vision, denying the vision of SBENU, and then preventing ROCCAT from having a lot of options to Void Rush into that bottom side. So that'll be a blue takeaway. Goong will grab it. Duke just gathering power in this top side, becoming super tanky. Now he's moving into that Trinity Force after the Skirmisher Saber, so going for the big-time damage on the Hecarim in this game.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he really needs to prioritize tankiness too much. Again, you know, if he can get that Trinity Force and get in on the Twisted Fate or onto a Tristana, even though it's easier to rocket jump away, he can just annihilate people.
Yeah, that is definitely true. And considering that Watch does have that early Aegis as well, combined with his cowl, he's not going to be taking too much damage from this TF, especially the TF just working towards the Zonias now, but okay.
Play on to Soul here. OQ and Pure going in out of this one. Soul with a lot of spears and oh wow, nearly, well he barely survives the Ren, but he doesn't survive the auto attack afterwards.
Yeah, but Pure doesn't even have to use his ult right there. They should be able to get out of this one pretty easily.
Yeah, Catch and Secret coming in. They're going to get the knock up there. OQ not even running away, but here comes Nuclear. Okay, here we go. Duke teleporting back up to the top lane. Ult on a Nuclear. Nuclear feared back into the team here, and OQ right there filling people up with spears. Goodbye, Nuclear. A kill for OQ again. Sasson comes into the gold card. Looks like they might be able to take out the AD carry, but no, somehow OQ lives. A double kill, triple kill for OQ, and that's going to be the final outer turret as well as Najin picks up the clean ace. Yeah, this one's pretty over, isn't it?
Yep, a lot of commitment in that top side, and OQ maybe being a little bit too aggressive,
played it pretty unsafely there.
But he got saved by his team in the end. That gold card wasn't enough to finish him off as the cavalry arrived.
The goal of every AD carry, to play unsafely and be saved by your team.
And there you go.
Like, did you guys see that triple kill? I'm so good.
Baron. So let's take a look at this one again. Pure never had to use his ult on that, so they're pretty confident that they can deal with any damage coming in, especially from just a jungler and a support. OQ starts just to press forward. Duke comes in, gets the ult onto Nuclear after Secret misses the hook. And then there you go, challenging smite onto Nuclear as well. The Nuclear heals, gets hit by another auto attack. Now OQ moves forward, gets gold carded in the front line, but he does manage to sustain with that Bloodthirster and the help of Duke and Goong, who killed people before he can go down. Now we're going to see Dragon take away from Najin as well as they move into complete control of this game. And this is one of those reasons why you don't give OQ Kalista, because he ends up 5-1-4.
Wow. I'm really shocked that SBENU's answer to game 1 was to give Kalista to OQ. Did they just like forget to ban it or something? Like, oh shoot, that's right, Kalista. Oh well, they won't first pick. Oh.
I really don't get why you would ban Watches Evelyn when you continue to take Rek'Sai when there's still OQ's Kalista on the board. And look at that. Okay.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Hi, Sasin.
Age of Destiny. Oh, well, Destiny comes to meet Sasin in the most unfortunate way. Pure, able to pick up a bloodthirsty support kill there. Another turret goes down in top lane as Duke takes out the tier 2. Najin, meanwhile, pushing this bottom lane, even more undeterred by the damage coming in from SBENU. And Goon just coming in from behind. Yeah, flashes ahead for the kill on the Seeker. Why not? Why not, man? Gonna drop that ult, keep people away. Another easy turret. And Najin's going to be cruising to another easy victory here in game number 2. Might take another few minutes to end it, but we'll see how aggressively they want to do it.
Nah, I think that you take 2 inhibitors here, go back, use the epic amount of money that you just received, and then close out when the super minions get there, just to be as safe as possible.
I think Najin's...
everybody's up. No, they're going to leave.
Oh, I thought they were feeling a bit saucy, but I was wrong.
No. I think they're trying to minimize the OQ-ness of these games, Doa.
Yeah. I suppose. Oh, that's annoying.
Pure, all alone.
A herd of 1 now.
He's got Righteous
Save
Glory.
me, Baron minions.
Righteous Glory away from that. Just flipping around real quick, and then heading back to base.
Catch had just like a real jungler crisis of confidence right there. He's like, yeah, you're right, I can't kill their support.
I'm a Cinder Hulk.
Oh, whoa, Duke ults into Soul, knocks him back, not bad. Who needs Lee Sin when you got Rek'Sai, huh? I guess you still need Lee Sin because they didn't kill him. But it's
Chaos Storm for the wave clear right there.
Yeah, it was a zoning Chaos Storm. Oh, it was a zoning equalizer. Catch getting in the back lines a little bit. OQ very low. Wow, that was a bit of an interesting interaction. Looks like OQ's going to live anyway.
Watch doing his best to kill his AD carry right there.
He's trying, man. You know, that OQ kid gets too cocky sometimes. Gotta humble him a little bit.
Najin's team fighting in these late game fights has not been good today.
Sasin rethinking his life.
They are winning by the grace of their gold advantage, not by their coordination, that is for sure. OQ very dangerously living right there, having to QSS.
Yep. Najin, kind of the Najin plan is get ahead and then play for the thrill of it. You know? Just live life.
On the edge.
That's right, just grip it and rip it, right?
All right, well, they've all managed to get back up right now. Watch is alive. There is no more tower in that mid lane. And they can take that final inhibitor with some ease. As soon as OQ gets a red buff. Gotta have that to close.
True.
So I believe that's what Alec Baldwin said. Red buffs are for closers.
That's exactly what he said. He was way ahead of his time, man. He knew League of Legends better than anyone. That Alec Baldwin. Oh, there we go. Nice. 3-man headbutt. Pulverize into the ult. Oh, man, it's disgusting. You know, we talked about the first PG-13 movie we saw in the last game, but that team fight was rated X, man. That was, nobody should see that. Wow. Oh, yeah, make it happen. There it is. The easy ace, the easy victory, 18-4. And, wow, what do you say? Najin just crushing SBENU, kind of like we expected they would. Well, good luck next time, SBENU, because this one is over. GG.
Yeah, Najin really cruising to a win tonight. Still some lingering issues that I think could crop up against better teams. It does seem like they need to clean up some of their late-game team fighting, not all on the same page in some of those fights, but definitely individually overpowering their performance, or their opponents, and showing some strong planning in the early game. Meanwhile, SBENU, their woes continue. Yep. That was a dirty, dirty wombo combo between Hecarim ult and Victor ult at the end of that fight.
Watch actually kicked Nuclear out of his rocket jump, too. He flashed behind him because he knew what direction he was going to rocket jump, and then he kicked him out of it. There you go.
It was better than